Get comfortable with English in comfort. This is your English listening practice podcast to help you learn and improve naturally.
You know, when you really think about it, comparison has always been a part of our lives, hasn't it? It's something you could say is natural, right?
Right. It's something natural. When we were little kids, we used to compare things all the time. Who had the bigger toy, or who could run the fastest? It's just a normal human thing to do.
But as we get older, sometimes that natural comparison can become a real struggle. It can feel like it gets in our way, especially when we start looking at other people's lives and feeling bad about our own.
The comparison goes from a simple observation to something that can really hurt our confidence and stop us from moving forward.
By the way, I'm Emily.
And I'm Liam.
This is English in Comfort, the place where you can learn English while you relax, lie down, or even while you sleep. No pressure, no stress, just real conversations and interesting topics.
Today, we're going to talk about how to stop comparing yourself to others. We'll share real simple great ways to let go of comparison and focus on your own path.
That's right. So get comfortable, grab your tea, and let's get started. We've all felt that struggle of comparing ourselves to others. So, what do you think is the first step we can take to stop it and feel better?
For me, the first step is to really identify what you are comparing. You have to be honest with yourself and see exactly what it is that's making you feel bad.
That's a great point. It's so easy to just feel generally bad. But if you can actually name what you're comparing, you can start to deal with it.
Exactly. Ask yourself, am I comparing my job, my money, my home, or maybe a skill that someone else has? Once you know what it is, you can start to think about it in a new way.
Yes. Then once you know it, the next step is to ask yourself if the thing you're comparing is something you can improve or do too. For example, maybe you are comparing your skills to someone else. You see them speaking English fluently and you feel bad because you can't.
That's a classic example. But think about it. Speaking English is a skill, right? It's not something you are born with. So it's something that you can learn with time and practice.
And it's not a magical talent. So instead of just feeling bad, you can think, this is a skill. I can make a plan to learn and improve it myself.
So take a moment and think. What are you comparing? Is it a skill, a job, or a talent that you can work on too? Knowing this is already a first powerful step.
Now let's talk about something that makes comparison happen in the first place, the cause.
You need to find anything that makes that feeling of comparison start. It's like a small button that, when you press it, it makes you start comparing yourself to others.
Exactly, and I think in our modern world, the number one cause for comparison is often social media. You know that feeling when you're scrolling through your phone and you see someone's perfect photo or their big achievement?
Oh, I know that feeling all too well. It can make you feel a little bit of envy, and you start looking at your own life and thinking it's not as good.
That's the thing. Never take social media seriously. You have to remember that most things we see on social media are not the full reality. People only show the best parts of their lives, and often it's just for views or likes.
That's true.
Imagine you're comparing yourself to an influencer who has a really expensive car. You start to think, she's the same age as me and she already owns a car like that. What am I doing wrong? But have you ever wondered if she just rented that car for that video or for those pictures? Maybe she doesn't even own one. This could happen, of course, not always. But it's a good reminder that what you see on a screen is just a small part of the story.
So, whenever you're scrolling on your social media account and you notice that you are starting to compare, it's better to just stop right there and put the phone down.
Just remember that it is just a screen and we really don't know what is behind the screen. Now, what do you do once you find yourself comparing something and you can't just stop it?
Well, the next step is a really powerful one. You need to turn comparison into inspiration.
I love that idea. So instead of feeling bad about what someone else has, you use their success to motivate yourself.
Exactly. Let's go back to the example of someone who can speak English fluently. Instead of feeling bad and thinking, I can't do that, you can change that thought. You can turn that negative comparison into a motivation like, wow, how did they do that? Or, if they can do it, what's stopping me from doing it too?
You see their achievement not as a reason to feel bad, but as proof that it's possible. You can even think, I wonder what steps they took to get there.
This completely changes the feeling of comparison from being envious and self-doubting to having motivation and a sense of possibility. It helps you focus on what you can do, rather than what you don't have.
So, if you see someone with a successful business or a great new skill or a happy life, don't just feel bad. Take a moment to think, that's amazing. How can I learn from this? How can their journey inspire my own?
It's about changing your mindset. You can learn so much from other people's successes without letting them make you feel small. Their win is not your loss.
Their win is not your loss. This is such a great way of thinking. And another great way of thinking that helps you stop comparing yourself to anyone is counting your strengths, not your flaws.
That's right. When we compare ourselves, it's generally because we have low self-esteem. Our minds focus on things other people have and we don't. We focus on our weaknesses.
Like imagine you look at someone who is a great painter and you only think, I can't paint at all. We don't also think about the things we are good at. So, a key part of stopping comparison is to change that thinking.
Instead of focusing on what you lack, why not change this thinking to focusing on what you are good at? Emily, what do you think are some of your strengths?
That's a good question. I'd say I'm a really good listener, and I'm also very organized, which helps me a lot with work. I'm also pretty good at being a comforting presence for my friends when they need to talk.
I can definitely confirm all of those. Those are great strengths. And you know, a strength isn't just a big skill. It could be something simple, like being a good friend or being patient.
You're right. How about you, Liam? What are some of your strengths?
Well, I think I'm a pretty creative person. I'm good at coming up with new ideas. And I'd also say I'm very good at keeping things positive, even when things get difficult.
Those are great strengths, and you should be proud of them.
Now let's ask our listeners the same question. It's your turn now. What are your strengths? Take a moment, pause the video, and tell us in the comments what you think you are good at. It's a great way to start appreciating yourself.
There's another thing I want to mention about comparing yourself to others. It's that comparison slows you down. When you're constantly looking at what others are doing or what they have, you're not focusing on your own journey. You're wasting time and energy that you could be using to improve yourself.
That's so true. While you are busy comparing, thinking, and feeling bad, other people are still moving forward. They are still working on their goals.
So every minute you spend scrolling through social media thinking, why am I not as good as them? Is a minute you're not spending on your own skills, your own goals, or your own happiness.
You're putting your own journey on pause. You have to remember that your time is precious. You can spend that time and energy to improve yourself instead.
So, if you catch yourself comparing, try to see it as a moment to redirect your energy. Put that energy into taking one small step forward for yourself.
Exactly. Focus on your own path, at your own pace. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. And the only goal is to be a little better today.
Which leads us to the next and the most important thing you need to focus on: your own achievements.
This is so important. When we're caught in the comparison trap, we often forget to look at our own path and see how far we've already come.
Exactly. You need to be proud of your achievements. Every single thing you've accomplished is a win, no matter how small it seems. Maybe you learned a new skill, finished a project, or just got through a difficult day. All of those are big steps.
And it doesn't matter if your progress is slow or slower than someone else's. Your journey is unique to you. Your success is your own, and it's something to be proud of.
That's right. Someone else's fast progress doesn't make your progress less valuable. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. Someone else might have a faster pace, but as long as you're still climbing, you're getting closer to the top. Every single step forward is an achievement.
So, instead of looking at other people's speed, look at your own journey. Look at where you started and where you are now. I'm sure you've made a lot of progress that you just haven't celebrated yet.
A great fun way to do this is to keep a journal of your achievements. Write down every small thing you've done, every new skill you've learned, every small win. When you feel a moment of comparison coming on, you can look back at that list and remind yourself of all the amazing things you've already accomplished.
You've already put in the work. You've already made the progress. So, be proud of it. Your achievements are real, and they are a proof of your hard work.
It's good to celebrate other people's success too, you know?
When we see someone do something great, instead of feeling envious, we can feel genuinely happy for them. It's a choice we can make in our minds.
That's right. When you see a friend get a promotion or a family member achieve a goal, you can feel joy for them. Their success should not be a threat to your own. So, another simple way. If you catch yourself feeling bad when someone else succeeds, try to pause for a moment. Then, think of a reason to feel happy for them. You can even send them a nice message or a compliment.
When you celebrate their wins, you are also making a positive choice for your own mental health. It helps you focus on the good things, and it makes you feel more connected to others.
So remember, you can be proud of your own journey and also celebrate the amazing things happening in the lives of the people around you. Both can exist together.
And finally, something we always repeat in here, which really helps if you want to stop comparing yourself to others. Turn negative thoughts into positive ones.
When you're comparing yourself, your mind is usually full of negative thoughts. You might be thinking, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be as successful as them.
For example, instead of thinking, I'll never be as good at English as my friend, you can turn that thought into, I am making progress every day and I am proud of my learning journey.
Or if you think, I'm not as creative as that artist, you can change it to, I have my own unique style, and I will focus on what I can make.
It's all about catching the negative thought and immediately replacing it with a positive, realistic one. It takes practice, but it's a very powerful tool.
So if you catch yourself thinking something negative, just pause for a moment. Then think of a positive thought that is true for you and say it to yourself. This helps you focus on your own progress and your own path. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode about how to stop comparing yourself to others.
We've covered so many important points today. So we truly hope these tips help you break free from this comparison trap and find more joy and peace in your own life. Remember, your journey is unique, and it's something to be proud of.
This is a skill that gets better with time and practice. Remember, you can be proud of your own achievements and celebrate the successes of others too.
What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? And what's one tip you're excited to start practicing? Tell us in the comments below.
For more conversations, listening and speaking practice, and interesting topics, make sure you subscribe to English in Comfort wherever you listen to podcasts.
Thank you for letting us be a part of your journey. Keep practicing, keep improving, and take care, everyone.